In this video we will have a look at how to unstage a file in Git and ignore a file as well. So what if you did not want to include a certain file in your repository? For example, if we had notes that had been created to let the team know about weekly project updates or something similar, and then we accidentally staged these files. So how would we unstage a file and we keep files in our directory without them being tracked? So let's take a look at this. So the first step, I'll create a new file called my_notes, and in here I'll put some notes in my notes for my project. Let's save the file. Now a git status will show there's an untracked file. So if we do git status, so we can see my notes.txt is untracked. And now if we do a git add my notes.txt to add the file to our staging area, and let's say we accidentally added this file and did not want to really add it to our staging area, and now this file has become a staged file, which we can confirm with the git status command. And doing a git status, we can see the file is now in green, which means it's staged. And what we can see over here is it says use git restore to get the file unstaged. So git restore -- staged and then the file name to unstage the file. So we can do this, git restore -- staged, and then it's my_notes.txt. And now if we do a git status, we can see the file has been unstaged again. However, we can easily accidentally re-add the above file again to the staging area. So how do we ask Git to ignore the file altogether? To ignore the files completely in the working directory. For example, it's a file for your notes, just like the file we have here, that you don't need to create commits for. For this, we can create a .ignore file in our repository and list our files we want to ignore in there, so these files will never be staged or committed. So let's create this .ignore file, and the way we will do that is do it through git bash touch.gitignore, enter, and that's created the file on the right hand side. So if we go into the file, actually before we do anything, let's do a git status. So I can see both files. I can see my_notes.txt, but we can also see .ignore file in there as well now. And this is fine, as we want to track the .ignore file and let the team update and commit it when files need to be ignored. But the my_notes.txt is still showing. So let's update the .ignore file. And let's specify in here my_notes.txt, and let's save the file with a Ctrl S, and I'll cross this off. And now let's do a git status again. And we can see the my_notes.txt has now disappeared. It's not being tracked anymore because now we are ignoring the file, and this is what you want Git to do, to ignore files. So we can do a git add from here and a git status, and we can commit this one, and running a git status again will show us now there's nothing to commit, working tree clean. And of course if we remove the file from .gitignore, save the file, now we do a git status again, we can see the file is back. So we can see one file has been modified. We modified the .ignore file, and there's a new file which is untracked, my_notes.txt. And that's it for this video. That's how you unstage a file if you accidentally stage a file, and that's how you ignore files if you want Git to ignore files permanently.